Hey bro, what's going on? Hope you're doing great because today, man, we've got something seriously awesome to talk about. ARK Survival Ascended just dropped a brand new update, version 1.074.03, and it's got the entire community hyped, especially with the return of one of the most loved events of all time, Fear Ascended, the Halloween event. This update is packed, like actually loaded, with new creatures, features, fixes, and a ton of spooky vibes that bring that classic ARK chaos back in the best way possible. So let's get right into it and talk about everything that's going on in this update. What's new, what's fixed, and what you can expect when you log in right now. First off, let's talk about the event itself, Fear Ascended. Every ARK player knows that this is the time of year when things get wild. Ghost creatures, eerie lighting, and all sorts of creepy surprises start showing up all over the maps, and this year is no different. In fact, it feels even more refined and full of life, or maybe unlife, since we're talking about ghosts here. The event started around October 29th, and it's running until November 12th, so you've got a solid 2 weeks to get in there and experience everything. Rates are bumped up too, which is always the cherry on top for these events. So if you're playing on official servers, you're getting double rates across the board. XP, taming, breeding, harvesting, all that good stuff. If you're on small tribes, it's 4.5x XP and 4x for the others, and ARK Apocalypse servers get an even bigger boost at 5x. It's basically the perfect time to grind out your base upgrades, tame some high-level creatures, or just mess around with friends while the world around you looks like a haunted nightmare in the best way. Now, one of the biggest highlights of this year's Fear Ascended is the introduction of the new weapon called the Ecto Lantern. You can craft it right in the smithy, and it's got a really cool purpose. It actually weakens wild ghost creatures. And if you've ever tried fighting those things without prep, you know they can be brutal. The Ecto Lantern makes them much more manageable and gives you an actual reason to hunt ghosts, because instead of dropping their costumes directly like before, they now drop something called ectoplasm. You collect that, and then you use it to craft the ghost costumes yourself. Honestly, I really like this change. It adds that bit of grind and purpose, so you're not just hoping RNG blesses you with the right drop, you're working towards it, building up your ectoplasm stash, and crafting the costumes you actually want. And speaking of ghosts, man, this event has absolutely gone wild with the number of new ghost variants. You've got Ghost Cat, Ghost Gigantoraptor, Ghost Ankylosaurus, Ghost Ceratosaurus, Ghost Angler, and it just keeps going. There's Ghost Veilwind, Ghost Drakeling, Ghost Yeeling, Ghost Argentavis, Ghost Spino, Ghost Megalodon, Ghost Otter, Ghost Deinonychus, and even Ghost Snow Owl. It's such a cool mix of both fan-favorite creatures and some of the newer additions to Ascended. And of course, we can't forget the return of the Dodo Rex and Dodo Wyvern, which are absolute legends of these events. You also get the skeletal dinos back, which always looks so good with the Halloween lighting. If you're into collecting skins or mounts that stand out, this event is heaven, or, well, hell, in the best way possible. Another fun addition that's got people talking is the appearance of Mousers from the TMNT crossover. Yeah, you heard that right. These little mechanical creatures spawn in the world during Fear Ascended, and when you take them down, they drop something called Mutagen Ooze. You can use that to craft new event cosmetics, which is such a neat crossover feature. It's crazy how ARK manages to mix in these random but fitting pop culture tie-ins and still make them feel natural in the game's chaotic world. Now, for those of you who play on single player or run your own unofficial servers, they've made it super easy to enable the event this time around. You don't have to mess around with command lines as much as before. You just go to the main menu, open the mods section, and look for Fear Ascended. The mod ID is 877752. Once you download and enable it in your mod settings, you're good to go. For server owners, you just add dabnash mods equals 877752 to your server's launch arguments, restart it, and boom, your server will be rocking the full Halloween event with all the bells and whistles. It's honestly great how streamlined they've made this, especially compared to the older ARK event setups, where getting things to work could be a total headache. Alright, now let's shift gears and talk about some of the map and gameplay fixes in this patch, because they've really put in work on that front too. Valguero players, you're going to be happy. Tusateuthus, Mosasaurus, and Dunkleosteus now have proper spawns on the map, which gives the oceans a lot more life. They also added aberrant spawns to the Red Zone Cave, fixed issues with gas collector placements, and made the Spider Cave Poison behave more like it did in the old ARK Survival Evolved version, which longtime players will appreciate. Plus, they tweaked the Megaraptor isolated check so it behaves more consistently. Over on Ragnarok, they fixed a missing rock texture and material, which sounds minor, but it's one of those little visual things that just makes the world look more polished. On Astraeos, they cleaned up terrain issues around the crater, repaired broken element nodes, fixed some floating trees, and patched a few holes that players had been falling through. Also, performance got a bump with better delayed graphic loading. And for Elderclaw, They solved that annoying bug where corpses wouldn't dissolve properly, adjusted the glow on crop plots, and fixed the weird overlay color bug that appeared after using the totem. It's a bunch of smaller details, but together they make the maps feel smoother and less janky overall. The template hammer got a ton of attention in this update too. There's a new edit function for saved templates, which is huge for builders. Before, if you saved a design and wanted to tweak it, you'd have to rebuild it from scratch. Now you can modify existing templates easily, which saves so much time. They also fixed a bunch of issues like bad snapping, selection errors, weird previews, and even some crashes that happened while using it. The tech bridge now properly works with templates too, so you can incorporate that into your builds without bugs. Skin tabs also load faster now, and custom cosmetics work more reliably. Honestly, if you love building and decorating in ARK, this update feels like it's made for you. ClubARK, the social hub area, also got a spooky makeover for the event. There's a new Fear Wave minigame added, which fits perfectly with the Halloween vibe. It's basically a fun side activity if you want to take a break from hunting or building and just mess around in a festive environment. They even fixed a bug where terrain wouldn't load correctly when you teleported there, so it's smoother overall. Now, outside of all the event stuff and map fixes, this update also includes some solid quality of life improvements and gameplay fixes. There's a new option in single player to wipe wild dinos when loading a save, which is something players have been asking for because sometimes the spawn tables just go crazy and you end up with weird distributions. They've also addressed a handful of perk-related issues, visual bugs, controller problems, and tech engram inconsistencies. Oh, and they patched some exploits and crashes, which is always welcome because nothing ruins the fun faster than losing progress to a random crash. The overall performance feels noticeably better in general, especially during the event, which is impressive considering how many effects and special assets Fear Ascended brings into the game world. Shadows, lighting, and particle effects all seem smoother this time around, and load times between zones feel a bit shorter too. It's one of those updates where you can tell the devs have been paying attention not just to new content, but to stability and player experience as well. And of course, the vibe of the event itself, man, it's perfect. The skybox is darker, the music has that eerie undertone, random ghostly sounds echo in the distance, and the biomes look completely transformed. It just pulls you in. You could literally just wander around at night with a torch and feel like you're in a survival horror game. And if you manage to summon or find one of the big ghost creatures, it's intense. The fights feel cinematic, especially with the glowing outlines and ethereal lighting effects, and when you take one down and see that ectoplasm drop, it feels rewarding, because now you know you can craft whatever costume you've been eyeing. One of my favorite things so far has been hunting down Ghost Spino. The glow on that thing at night is unreal, and it looks terrifying coming out of the water. The Ghost Argentavis also looks amazing. It's like this massive spectral bird swooping around the cliffs. Every creature feels unique in how the ghost effect plays on them, which makes collecting them kind of addicting. It's not just another event reskin. It genuinely feels like they've gone all in on making each ghost variant stand out. And for people who love role-playing or doing cinematic gameplay videos, this event is basically a goldmine. The lighting, the sounds, the colors, all of it works so well for atmosphere. You could literally make an entire horror short film inside ARK right now.